Sis, I need to talk to you about something important. Do you have time? Sure, what's up? Actually, this might take a while. Are you alone? Yes, I'm at home. What's going on? I want you to divorce Mike. I'm seriously dating him. Excuse me? I know you heard me. I want you to repeat that. I know this is shocking to hear suddenly, but I'm not joking. And this isn't some April Fool's prank. We're in a serious relationship. Are you being serious right now? Dead serious. I wouldn't joke about something like this. Hold on, let me get this straight. You're really dating Mike? Yes, I truly love him with all my heart. But Mike's on a business assignment in California. How are you dating him when you're here in New York? Actually, I'm in California too. I'm living with him in his temporary apartment. You're what? You heard me. We're living together. But didn't you just get a job in New York after graduating college this year? Aren't you working here? Well, I got transferred to California right after joining the company. I knew there might be transfers since it's a big corporation, but I never expected it to happen so soon or to be sent so far. I see. Don't just say I see, say something more. What exactly do you want me to say? I didn't know anyone here and my boyfriend broke up with me because of the long distance. I was really lonely, but Mike was there for me during that time. So you two bonded over being lonely since Mike doesn't know anyone there either? It wasn't just about being lonely. Then what was it about? Mike understands me in a way no one else does. Really? My husband understands you better than your own sister? At first, we just had dinner together, but since we're both free, we started going out on weekends too, and before we knew it, we were dating. I never thought my husband would cheat with my sister. Don't say it like that. This isn't just cheating. What would you call it then? We tried to keep it casual at first. We decided it would be just during his temporary assignment, but now we can't be apart. We truly love each other. So you're boldly asking me for a divorce? Yes, because this isn't just some fling. Tell me more about this great love of yours. Because Mike is completely in love with me now, we're already living together like a married couple. There's no place for you anymore, so please divorce him soon. Absolutely not. What? Why? Because I don't want to. Thanks for letting me know, but I won't divorce him. You can't be serious. You're just being stubborn. No, I'm being quite reasonable. What? Mike is cheating on you with me. We're even living together at his place. There's no point in staying married to him. Just divorce him. Oh, there's definitely a point. Not divorcing him is more beneficial for me. Beneficial? What are you talking about? Think about it for a minute. Huh? Even if he's cheating, as long as we're married, Mike is my husband. And as my husband, he has a legal obligation to support me. He has to pay me spousal support. You mean he's paying for your apartment rent and living expenses? Well, not everything, but he has to pay enough to ensure I'm not struggling financially, and I have the right to demand that payment. Mike can't escape his financial obligations to me. Really? That can't be true. Your marriage is practically over. The law doesn't care about practically, only what legally matters. But that's not fair. If we divorced, I'd only get property division and compensation for the affair. We've only been married for about 2 years, so there aren't many joint assets, and the compensation would be around $30,000 at most. It's much better to keep receiving $1,000 monthly in living expenses. You are terrible, sis, refusing to divorce just for money? Well, that's rich coming from you. Who's worse, me or the sister who slept with her sister's husband? Well, that's... If you're so upset, why don't you tell our family and friends? Tell them how you stole your sister's husband, but you're not the bad guy. I wonder what they'd say. You wouldn't dare. Try me. I can't tell them that. Well then, are we done here? I have an appointment at the salon, so I need to get going. Take good care of Mike for me, won't you? Don't mock me like this. I'm not mocking you. I'm just being practical. You'll regret this. Mike and I won't give up. That's fine. I'm looking forward to seeing what you two come up with.
This is ridiculous. Why won't you agree to the divorce? I want to marry Lucy.
Hello to you too, Mike.
Don't act cute. Lucy told me about your conversation.
Then you know my answer.
You can't do this.
The decision to divorce is mine. You have no right to complain.
Do you know how selfish you're being?
Says the man who cheated with my sister.
You're so cold-hearted. Most women would cry and break down after discovering their husband's affair. But you just calmly calculate what benefits you the most. I've always hated that about you.
Is that why you chose my sister? Because she's more emotional?
Don't try to analyze this.
Sorry this didn't play out like you imagined, but I've known about your affair for quite a while.
What?
You seem surprised.
You're lying.
So there's no need for me to cry or break down.
You knew? Since when? How could you know when I'm in California?
Think about it carefully.
Stop playing games!
I simply checked our bank account and credit card statements. Remember when we switched to online banking after getting married, so we could both log in and check things anytime? Starting to remember now?
That's...
And we both changed to credit cards with better rewards, right? We set it up so we could both easily check the statements, so I know exactly what you've been spending money on in California.
Right. Can't believe I made such a basic mistake.
You must have been distracted.
Stop it.
You were too excited about your young girlfriend, though I never expected the other woman to be my sister. I might seem calm, but I'm actually quite shocked.
If you're so shocked, then just divorce me.
Why would being shocked make me want to divorce you?
Are you really not going to divorce me? Are you planning to continue our marriage while openly acknowledging my affair with Lucy?
I won't acknowledge the affair, and I won't divorce you. If I did, you two would happily get married, and I absolutely refuse to make the traitors happy.
You're being vindictive.
Perhaps.
But...
If you really want to divorce me, you'll have to file for divorce court.
You mean we have to go through a whole legal battle?
Exactly.
Do you know how expensive that would be?
Yes, and you'll have to pay lawyer fees. Plus, you'll still need to pay me spousal support until the divorce is finalized. It's going to cost you quite a bit before you can marry Lucy.
This can't be happening. I just want to file one simple divorce paper. Please just divorce me. What will it take?
Are you trying to negotiate now?
Just tell me what you want.
Why don't you try making me want the divorce?
Huh?
You're usually smarter than this.
What do you mean?
Try making me want to give up my beneficial spousal support and want a divorce. Then I might sign the papers quickly. You two can think about it together.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Would you believe me if I said no?
I'll find a way. You'll see.
I look forward to it. Hey, sis, are you there? Yes, what is it? Sis, check your bank account right now. I've transferred as much compensation as I could manage. Oh, well, let me check. Wow, $50,000 has been transferred. You sent all this money? That should be enough, right? For what exactly? I gathered all my savings and sold everything I could. I even borrowed money. Now that I've paid this much, you'll divorce Mike, right? You really went all out. Of course I did. I want to be with Mike properly. You must really want to marry him. Yes, I truly love Mike. I've never loved anyone more than him. He's so mature and sophisticated and kind. I'd give up everything just to marry him. Everything including your relationship with your sister? Please don't make this harder than it needs to be. I've received your sincerity loud and clear. I'll divorce Mike. Really? Yes, really. You mean it? You're not playing games? Your dedication really touched me. I'll go file the divorce papers right now. Mike already gave me his signed copy, so it'll be over in a matter of hours. I'm so happy. Finally, Mike and I can be married. We need to prepare our marriage registration right away. Slow down a bit. There's something you should know first. What is it? Is there a problem with the divorce papers? No, I just want to wish you both happiness. Oh, by the way, I'll let Jack know you're getting married. What? Did I stutter? What are you talking about? Why would you tell Jack that? He actually came to our house. He wanted to get back together with you and even begged our parents for their blessing. But I guess reconciliation is impossible now that you're marrying Mike. What? Jack came to our house wanting to get back together? Quite passionate about it too. You're lying. You two broke up because of the long distance, right? Jack really regrets that. He said he still loves you and wants to marry you. He promised he wouldn't let distance get in the way this time. Why would he make such a declaration at our house? This makes no sense. Should I tell you what else he said? There's more? He wants to date with marriage in mind. That's why he wanted to talk to our parents first. By the way, he passed the bar exam this year. He says he wants to get married as soon as he starts his job as a lawyer. No way. He passed? He failed so badly last year. People can change in a year. Are you absolutely sure he passed? Yeah, he did. And you should know, our parents really like him. Dad even said, I'll help you get back together. But who would have thought you'd be marrying Mike instead? It'll be tough explaining this to Jack and our parents, but I'll manage. Wait, don't say anything yet. Why not? They should know. This can't be happening. I never thought he'd actually pass the bar exam. I thought he'd never become a lawyer. Well, I'll go break the news to them. Wait, don't tell Jack anything. And please, return the $50,000 I transferred. I'm breaking up with Mike and getting back together with Jack. Excuse me? You heard me. Please don't tell anyone about my relationship with Mike yet. What happened to true love? Forget Mike. My true love is Jack. I'll reconcile with Jack and marry him. I'll get myself a lawyer husband and be happy, so please don't say anything to him or our parents. Let me understand this clearly. What's there to understand? What's gotten into you? Didn't you say no one could compare to Mike? Are you crazy to throw someone away like that for your ex? You're the crazy one. A regular office worker versus a high-earning lawyer? Obviously, I'm choosing the lawyer ex-boyfriend. What? Why are you acting surprised? That is quite a change of heart. Everything I said before was a lie. I love Jack more than Mike. I love how he can be so childish and how he tries to act mature. I love all his cute failures when he tries to be sophisticated. I'm getting back together with Jack and marrying him. Sorry, Lucy. I called Jack over from the next room. He saw our entire conversation. What? Should I repeat that? You're lying again. Here's a message from Jack. Sorry I couldn't pass the bar exam in one try. I hope you'll be happy with Mike. No. Well, this can't be happening. Wait, Jack, I'll get back together with you. Oh, and one more disappointing thing. I won't be returning the $50,000. What? The compensation was for the affair. That fact doesn't change. The fact that you had an affair with my husband doesn't change. I'm keeping the full amount as compensation for the affair. Whether you get back together with Jack or not, I won't return it. No way. Oh, this can't be happening. I said I'm breaking up with Mike. Yeah, I had an affair, but I'll make it up to you. You can have him back, so please return my money. I don't want that man back. Well, I'm off to drive Jack to the station. Wait, at least let me talk to Jack. Sorry, we're already in the car. This isn't fair. Neither was sleeping with my husband.
Sarah, are you available to talk?
Yes, what is it?
Hey Sarah, check your bank account right now. I've transferred the maximum amount I can manage. This should be enough for a divorce, right?
One moment. $100,000. Oh, you transferred quite a lot.
That proves how serious I am.
Does it?
This should be more than enough. Now divorce me immediately. I transferred this much because I love Lucy that much.
Such a grand gesture.
Stop being sarcastic and process the divorce papers. I've had enough of you playing games with us.
I've received your sincerity as well. No complaints here. I'll file the divorce papers right now. I'm actually at the city hall already.
Perfect timing!
Indeed it is.
Great! Finally, Lucy and I can get married. Please submit the divorce papers right away. Once it's processed, Lucy and I will register our marriage, and we'll be able to plan for the ceremony too.
About that marriage plan.
What about it?
Our divorce papers have been processed, but I wonder about your marriage with Lucy. I don't think you'll be able to marry her.
What do you mean? We love each other. Of course we'll get married.
Do you really?
Of course we do.
Well, Lucy's ex-boyfriend just came to our house. He says he wants to get back together with her.
What?
You seem surprised.
You're lying.
Of course, I told him about you two, and he listened quietly and said he'd give up on Lucy.
So what's the problem? Lucy is crazy about me and doesn't care about her ex. If he says he's going to give up on her, then why would that change whether we get married or not?
Are you sure about that?
What are you implying?
The truth is, Lucy says she wants to get back together with him.
That's impossible. How could she choose him when she has me? She would never choose him over me.
Quite confident, aren't you?
Lucy would never leave me. She loves me.
Well, she's decided to break up with you and reconcile with her ex.
But we've been living together all this time. We truly love each other. Why would she choose her ex?
Maybe ask her yourself.
This doesn't make sense.
You should ask her directly. You're living together, right?
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Just to confirm, if Lucy and I break up, you'll return $100,000, right? Since that money was to get you to divorce me. If I break up with Lucy, there's no need for us to divorce. I'll come back to you when my assignment ends and we can stay together, right? There's no need for me to send you that money.
Excuse me?
You heard me. The money was for the divorce.
Have you forgotten what I just said? The divorce papers have been submitted and processed. Our divorce is final. And since the reason was your infidelity, I am keeping the full $100,000 as compensation.
Can't do this!
I already did.
This can't be happening. Why'd I scrape together $100,000 if I can't marry Lucy? I've lost my wife, girlfriend, and a fortune. I have nothing left. This isn't fair.
Just a foolish man left all alone. Well, I'll be going now. You two can talk things through.
Wait, there must be something we can work out.
The divorce is final, Mike.
But all that money.
Consider it the price of betrayal.
I'll contest this in court.
With what evidence? Your affair with my sister? Goodbye, Mike. Sarah, please answer. What is it? What should I do, sis? Jack rejected me. He said he doesn't want to get back together. He said he can't be with someone who would date their sister's husband. I'm not surprised. How can you be so cold? Well, that's to be expected from someone serious enough to pursue becoming a lawyer. You planned this all along, didn't you? Planned what? Getting Jack involved. You made your own choices. If only I hadn't rushed to prepare that $50,000, maybe I could have still had a chance to reconcile. I could have landed a lawyer husband. Is that all you care about? What else is there now? In that case, you'll have to settle for an ordinary office worker husband. You still have Mike, don't you? Now that the divorce is final, you can get married anytime. About Mike? Yes. I can't marry Mike anymore. You ruined everything by telling him everything. He kicked me out, saying that he's not interested in marrying a woman who would betray him and that he didn't love me anymore. What? He kicked you out from the apartment you were sharing? Yes, I have nowhere to go. That's quite a development. Mike was furious. He said he won't marry me and demanded his money back. He transferred $100,000 to you as compensation, right? Yes, he said he gathered as much as he could. You both worked really hard, didn't you? This isn't funny. I'm not laughing. I lost $50,000 to you, and now I'm even kicked out of the apartment? Excuse me? Lost? You voluntarily transferred it as a fair compensation. I never specified any amount. You manipulated me. Did I force you to transfer the money? Because I thought you wouldn't divorce him otherwise. I really wanted to marry Mike then. I never thought this would happen. You mentioned you borrowed money too, right? So half of it is debt? More than half. Almost all of it is debt. I only had about $10,000 in savings. So you borrowed $40,000? Yes, and now I have no way to pay it back. That must be difficult. Please, I am begging you. I won't marry Mike, so please return the money. I'm not asking for all $50,000, just the $40,000 I borrowed from the banks. Sorry, that's not possible. No way. Why don't you just marry Mike? He was crying about losing everything, his money and everything else. At least get married and you'll have gotten something out of all this drama. I told you that's impossible. Why not? You loved him so much yesterday. That's impossible too. Mike was screaming so much, it was scary. I never knew he was like that. I hate men who yell, and my love for him has completely died. So please, just return my money. No way. You two can both work hard in California. Focus on your jobs and pay off your debts first. How can you be so heartless to your own sister? The same way you could sleep with your sister's husband. I said I was sorry. Are you really? Please, I have nowhere else to turn. You should have thought about that before. Can't we work something out? The money was compensation for the affair. That fact doesn't change. But I'm your sister. Exactly. You were my sister when you chose to betray me, too. Shortly after, I used their compensation money to move to a different house. The irony wasn't lost on me. Their affair funded my fresh start. Thanks to that, I never had to see Mike again and have been living peacefully. The compensation covered not just the move, but also some renovations I'd always wanted to do. It felt fitting to use their money to build my new life. Some might call me calculating or cold, but I prefer to think of it as practical. When your husband and sister betray you, you have two choices: fall apart or take control. I chose the latter. Rumor has it that Mike had borrowed nearly half of the $100,000 from friends and family, apparently lying about the reason. He told some it was for a business investment, others that it was for medical bills. When they found out the truth, everyone was disgusted. They're now demanding immediate repayment, saying, "This isn't what you told us." His reputation is completely ruined, not just his marriage, but his friendships too. As for Lucy, she suddenly quit her job, claiming nothing good has happened since coming to California. It's all the company's fault for transferring me. She tried to blame everyone but herself, the company, the transfer, me, even Mike. However, when she tried to return home, our parents threw her out, saying, "We don't remember raising such a foolish daughter." I actually felt a bit sorry for her then, but not sorry enough to help. She made her choices just as I made mine. I hear she's now couch surfing between friends' houses. Those friends are starting to get tired of her too, especially as they learn the full story. The money they paid me wasn't just compensation for the affair, it was the price of their arrogance. They thought they could have everything, their affair, their new life together, and an easy divorce. Instead, they lost everything: money, reputation, relationships, and each other. Some might say I was harsh, but I believe there are consequences to our actions. Mike learned that cheating has a price, Lucy learned that betraying family comes at a cost, and I learned that sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even, it's getting ahead. I've moved on now, my new house is peaceful, my life is stable, and I've learned who my true friends and family are. Sometimes the worst betrayals lead to the best beginnings. In the end, their affair gave me something unexpected: freedom and a fresh start, fully funded by their own foolish choices.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Wow! I can't believe you're getting married just like that. I don't understand how there was someone willing to make such a basic girl like you their wife. Hold on, Millie. Whatever happened to congratulating someone for getting married? I'm sorry. I just heard about this from Mom and was in complete shock. Congratulations on getting married, Maggie. Great thing you did that just before you became too old for most men. I don't think I'm going to say thank you to something as ridiculous as that now. But you know who I want to talk about right now besides you, Maggie? I want to talk about your husband and the fact that he must be some unmarriable slob just like you. Way to go picking up the scraps like that, big sis. Would have been a lot nicer had you ended up like me, though. Cute and actually interesting to talk to. Don't call my husband a slob and someone unmarriable, please. He's a very nice man. And starting now, I'll be joining him and making sure his company grows and makes him more money. What? What do you mean, his company? Is your husband the owner of some company? Yes, he is. That's why I just quit my job, as we're getting married. From now on, I'll be working for him inside his company. At least, that's the plan. What? A boring and basic woman like you got married to a CEO? In other words, that makes you the wife of a CEO now. Well, I wouldn't say that yet, just considering his company is still small. But as time goes on, I hope to help him build it. And then you can start calling me something so honorable. He's going to be running the company though, and I'll just continue working for him. Who cares about all of that? I'm just in shock over the fact that you're the wife of a CEO now. How dare you marry a company-owning man like him? I wasn't trying to be mean or anything. And it's not like this is a big deal. He owns a little company that I'll be joining to help build with him. That's all. But Maggie, you left your job to go and help him, right? That job you had before was really good, with a good salary and great benefits, right? You went and quit your job there to go and work with your husband now? That means you have to be making way more money with your husband. Tell me right now, how much is he making every year there? Hundreds of thousands? Millions even? Hey, stop asking about how much money my husband brings in, please. I'm not going to tell you anything about that right now. I see. In other words, he's making so much that you don't want to share. What? I never said that. I am so shocked by how all of this unfolded. I was totally thinking that someone as basic and gloomy as you would never find yourself a man to marry. Yet now, you're married to a very successful company-owning man. Is your husband one of those men that's attracted to ugly people? Excuse me? Well, I'll be able to learn about all of those details in person later on, right? Hey, Maggie. Do you mind lending me some money right now? It would really help me a lot if you were to lend me $5,000 right now. So you start things off by making fun of my husband and yet now you expect for me to lend you money? And $5,000? I'll give you 5 if that's how serious of a situation you're in. Well, I've started to want to get married myself now. I'd like to be like you, finding myself an amazing husband with loads of money that I can have. That's why I was thinking of going to a speed dating party, or perhaps creating my own account online to start finding myself some decent men. But, of course, all of those things cost money, right? I suppose you would have to pay to attend those events, as well as a monthly fee for any dating and marriage apps. Unfortunately, I'm no full-time employee, but just a simple part-timer. Which means I don't have any money in my savings, but would really like help finding a man. If you've been able to get yourself a rich husband, then you should be able to lend me a couple grand at the very least, right? I told you, things aren't like that with him. But if you really want me to lend you some money, you'll have to sign an IOU first. I know that both Mom and Dad have been wanting the same thing for you, finding a man that can get you out of the house and into a life of your own. I'll sign! Then let's get to it and get that money into my bank account. If we don't get to work here right now, any future would-be husbands might get away from me.
Maggie, I'm sorry for bringing this up right before our wedding. I'm sorry to also have to ask this, but please leave me.
What?
I know it's only been just 3 months since we got married, so I'm really sorry. And our wedding is this weekend, but I can't keep hiding my true feelings anymore. I want to break things off with you and marry Millie now.
Excuse me? Wait a second, Lloyd. What the hell did you just say to me? You want to divorce me now? So that you can get married to my little sister? What the hell are you going on about right now?
I knew that you'd get upset with me for saying this, but just listen to me. Actually, I've been dating with Millie for a little while now.
Huh? So, in other words, you mean that you've been cheating on me with her? You and we've only been married for 3 months now, and you did that? You went and started cheating on your new wife with her little sister?
I'm really, really sorry. But at this point, the only person I'm attracted to is Millie, and I can't get her out of my head. She is literally the only thing I can think about anymore.
How can you say something like that to me? I married you because I thought we were both on the same page when we said we wanted to grow happy and old together. I quit my job in order to be able to support you and your company. We were supposed to both be in this together, Lloyd.
And I'm very thankful that you did something as selfless as that. I really suck at things like paperwork and advertising things. Because of you, things became a whole lot more easier for me, and I've really appreciated all of that. But compared to you, Millie is far more my type, and I just know that her and I will be happy together.
Huh? You think you'll be happier with her then?
There is nobody else more cute than she is, and who is willing to do anything and everything for me. No matter when or where we are, she is always worried about me and so kind. This is the first time in my life where I've been so close and connected to someone.
What the hell are you saying, Lloyd? I have done so much more for you that most other women would never think of doing. And that's because I love you. I've already sacrificed my job for your company, and I've even been doing all of the chores at home so that you can focus on your goals.
But Millie gave me a very high-end and fashionable necktie.
She bought you a high-end brand necktie?
At first, when Millie came to me confessing the feelings she had for me, I just assumed she was joking around and said no to her. But after that, she continued to send me text after text telling me how much she was in love with me. Then, last month on my birthday, she told me she at least wanted me to take the present she had gotten for her. And that was when she came to me and gave me this insanely expensive high-brand necktie. This is the first time in my life where I've ever gotten a present worth more than $1,000.
You're kidding me. So that's all it took for you to jump from me to my little sister, even though we're married? All you ever wanted from someone was a simple present that costs more than $1,000? I thought the gift of being married was something you would never be willing to throw away.
And I really did enjoy the fact that you married me. But I've never experienced love like the kind that Millie has for me. I've been so emotionally moved by the way she's shown her love to me that I can't get her out of my head. The girl is destined for me. I just know it.
No way.
That's why I'm asking you to please divorce me. I'll get the papers tonight, so please make sure to sign them all for me.
Excuse me, Millie? What the hell is going on here? Explain yourself right now. How the hell could you take your sister's husband from her like that? I stole your husband, didn't I? Sorry, but I'm going to be getting married to Lloyd now. I'm not playing games right now, you bitch. I thought you went out looking for your own man already. Why the actual hell did you end up dating my husband, of all people? What? I went out looking, and that's when I found your husband and decided he'd be the man I marry. Huh? He was just the man I was looking for, Maggie. One that has lots of money and decent looks, who would easily succumb to the cuteness and love of a girl like me. All I had to do was buy him an expensive present, and he started going on about how it was the first time he'd ever received a present like that, like some idiot. Seriously, it is way too easy to get men to want us, right? What? Thank you so much, Maggie. You were willing to lend me that $5,000 I asked for. And with that money, I was able to get the necktie that was key to getting Lloyd to fall for me. Come on now. You actually used the $5,000 I gave you on that necktie? You used my money that I lended to you on a high-end necktie that you used to steal my husband? You really thought that I'd be going to some stupid events and going onto apps to try and find myself a man? Those are just wastes of money for women and men to hook up and have some easy sex, right? I would have never found myself a man that I wanted to marry at one of those events. So you borrowed my money with a plan in mind from the start? In order to steal my husband from me, you asked me to lend you some money because you didn't have any. How much more of a bitch can you be, Millie? You are so miserable right now that it's insane, Maggie. And you just handed me that money without a thought behind your eyes, all so that I could steal your husband from you. I feel so bad for you right now that I'd be willing to use some of Lloyd's money later to get you a funeral. And you're not even going to bother apologizing to me? Instead, just laughing at the hell you've created. Well, I'm going to warn you. There's not a bone in my body that wants to forgive you. I'm not asking for you to forgive me, Maggie. As long as I can become the wife of a CEO, that's all I need. And now that I have one in my grasp, I'm on track to winning at this game called life. Huh? Lloyd is really such a wonderful person, isn't he? He is so madly in love with me right now that he'll listen to anything I say. And for our wedding, we'll be having a gorgeous wedding that's going to cost over $50,000. You guys are still planning to throw a wedding, even though everyone is going to know that you stole my husband from me? What's wrong with having a wedding after stealing your husband? I told Lloyd that I want to have a wedding no matter what. And he replied by saying he'd give me whatever kind of wedding I asked for. That's why I already called around and have set up plans to have a $50,000 wedding. I just knew that having a CEO husband meant that I could have anything. A CEO husband, huh? Now that you're aware of everything, hurry up and leave that man. Your CEO husband is no longer yours to have anymore. He's head over heels for me right now and wants to give me that $50,000 wedding. Even though he's only bringing in around $25,000 a year. What? So it'll take him 2 years to pay that wedding off, as long as he doesn't spend a penny on anything else. I guess if you don't mind eating dirt and living under a bridge after your wedding, go right ahead. He'll be throwing all the money he earns those next 2 years, just so that you guys can have one special day together. Hold it right there, Maggie. Lloyd is not that uncool, okay? He'd never be making such chump change as that. He's the owner and operator of a company, right? He shouldn't be making so little money as that. Instead, close to $500,000 a year, right? You never understood what I was saying before then. Just because he has a company that he runs doesn't mean he's living large. His company is so small that it's literally just him working there and nobody else. There are plenty of people like him too, with their own company, and all only making close to $30,000 a year. Yet they can still be called the CEO technically, since they operate their own company. What? I mean, Lloyd is a CEO, legally anyways. But in reality, all he's doing is a little bit of work every day just to keep some money flowing. And if he were to try really, really hard one year, at most he'd get to $32,000 a year. What? Are you sure? So, if you'd like me to take a word out of your book, he's making chump change. And my goodness, is it wild that you'll be having a $50,000 wedding with a man like that? You have to be lying right now. You're just trying to bully me now by making up that lie. I mean, you literally quit your good job to be with and support him, right? If his company was worth you leaving such a good job behind, that means you both have been very busy making a lot of money at his company, right? Which means these past 3 months, you guys have been making bank, right? The only reason I quit my job was because of the timing. I've always wanted to start working on my own time. And since I was getting married, I thought, what better time but now to do so? And because of the time on my hands, I thought that I'd spend more time helping out with his company. What? When you said you wanted to start working on your own time, does that mean you've started to freelance as well or something? Not just freelance, but working on making a company of my own, where I could improve and use my skills. So I started a company that does the same thing as Lloyd's, a design company. And as a way of helping the both of us, I started having my company work together with his. And then, with some willpower and a bit of luck, I landed my first customer. You're telling me that you have a customer now? And I'm very thankful for it. They told me they noticed all of the effort I was putting in and wanted to start supporting my goals. But, of course, due to that, a lot of income that Lloyd had been making went to me, as the customer wanted to only work with me. So even though we're both running companies within the same field, I'm making more than he is. But that is because of the work I've been putting in, and nothing else. What? As I told you, right now, Lloyd is making around $25,000 to $30,000 a year, right? Well, I'm making close to 5 times that much with the help of such a loyal customer. And there's more to come once I get things more commercialized. In other words, you're making over $100,000 now? Sure, I might be some basic girl to you, but at least I have a company now where I started to feel like I'm really successful. Now, I'm going to get that divorce you both have been wanting so badly. And of course, once he and I are exes, I'll no longer be helping him with his company at all. And I'll be taking all of my support with me. No way! That would mean he'd be running his company on his own, right? I'm sure that if you were to step up his game just a little, he'd be able to design some products that people would really like. And let's hope there are people out there willing to work with a man who is so crazy he'd cheat on his own wife with her younger sister. Now, I have my bags to start packing so that I can get out of here. And I'll make sure by the end of today, he and I are divorced.
I'm not screwing around, Maggie. Why would you take all of those customers I had with you? I get that I didn't have many, but now I literally have nobody. Tell them to come back and buy from me right now.
Don't complain to me about all of that. They've all told me that they'd rather be purchasing and working with me than you. If you have a problem with that, then you voice your problems to them.
What was that?
But I don't think you have any time to be doing all of that anymore, do you? You have to start worrying about that $50,000 wedding you have to give Millie, now, since you promised her that. If you had the time to start complaining to all of your customers, then you shouldn't even be worried about losing them in the first place.
Yo, screw you. Do you have any idea how difficult it is for me to find new customers right now? All the ones you stole from me, I worked for months on end finding. They should be staying with me instead of going to you and your business.
I have been putting in just as much work as you have, Lloyd. But the difference is, my work actually has some merit to it, because I'm working on the right things, and making sure all of my designs are perfect. In your case, all the work is you just sitting around playing on your phone, only ever putting in effort when people come to you for it, and producing half-assed designs.
What?
You're going to have to work even harder now, Lloyd. Because if you don't, you're going to lose that company of yours to bankruptcy. From what Millie has told me, she's so happy to have herself a CEO now that she can marry. Which means if you let your company go, she's going to be very, very sad.
And who do you think's fault it is my company will go bankrupt for making no money? I will not take that stranger-like attitude from you now.
But I am a stranger now, am I not? And I say that because you and I are no longer married. What happens to your company from now on has nothing to do with me and my life anymore. Now, what you really should be worried about is the fact that you're going to need to start paying off that settlement to me.
What? You're going to try getting a settlement from me now?
Not try. I will be getting one from you. You were my husband at the time, yet told me about how you've been cheating on me with my sister. I'll make sure you take responsibility for my broken heart by paying up.
But it's because of you that I'm not going to be making any more money for my company. You can ask me for a settlement, but I won't have a way to pay you anything.
It's not about you having the money to pay me or not. It's about you finding someone to lend you the money now to pay me, and paying that debt off later. If you're that worried about money right now, close your business and go find yourself a job working for someone else. Then you'll be making some income again, right?
What?
Your company's problem and the settlement I'm asking for are two separate things. Now, please get that money to me when I ask you. Maggie! You know what? You can have Lloyd back now if you want. I don't need someone like him anymore. I have no use for a man that's not going to be making any money. Don't be so cold about your man like that. Isn't he madly in love with you right now? I was told that you were destined for one another, so you can't be mean to the one you've destined for, right? That destiny that you and him have talked about has nothing to do with me. My future husband is not going to be some lost cause of a bankrupt man. I don't love him anymore, and I want nothing to do with him. I'll give him right back to you now. Therefore, can you please stop asking me for that stupid settlement? Wait, so you already received the letter in the mail from my lawyer? He really is a fast-working and precise lawyer. I can't pay this kind of money to you, Maggie. All I did was steal your husband from you for a bit, and you're asking for $30,000 now because of that? Oh? Did you make sure to read everything that was written down on the letter from my lawyer? That's not just the settlement I've asked for, because you took my husband, but also some other money that you owe me as well. What? Other money that I owe you? You're indebted to me, right? Remember how you borrowed $5,000 from me so that you could pay to find yourself a husband? So, a part of that money you owe me is that, which you have to pay me back. Of course, there was interest on that, right? Interest? You're going to try and get that much money out of your own little sister now? Hold on a second. What kind of comment was that there? You were the one that read through and signed the contract we made, the IOU, yet you're complaining now? What? What exactly was written on the IOU again? So you didn't read that after all then? I wrote on that IOU that for every month you didn't pay me anything back, you'd be charged interest. I also made sure to write on there that if you used the money I loaned you on anything other than its intended purpose, you'd be penalized. Penalized? What? Hold up. That was even written on there? I told you I didn't want to lend you $5,000. But if you were willing to sign an IOU, I wanted to make sure I wouldn't be getting screwed over in any way. So I made sure to write that you would be penalized for not spending the money on the intended things. No way, Maggie! Yet, you went ahead and spent the money on something completely different from what you specified before. That's why, with the penalty and interest included, you owe me $30,000 now. Please don't take it personally, because it isn't. No way! No way! I get that your man doesn't really have any customers anymore, but he's still a business owner, right? A CEO. If you go ahead and help him out in the most darkest of times with the company, I'm sure you can turn things around for yourselves. So don't go throwing him away and give him the help he deserves. Now, when you guys get around to having that super gorgeous wedding of yours, send me an invite. I would love to see what the wedding of two cheating assholes looks like. In order to pay the settlement off, Lloyd had to burn all his savings and take out a loan. And in Millie's case, she had no money to begin with, so the loan was even larger. Soon after that, they both started to hear from their parents that they'd be getting disowned for what they've done. Which then led to Millie telling Lloyd that if this was the way things were going to go, she'd at least rather be with Lloyd than leave him and be on her own. So, for the time being, it seems those two won't be breaking up. However, when it came to Lloyd's company, things only grew worse and like he'd have no chance at getting back on his feet. So, once he let the company close down, he went and found himself a job, although said job was not paying much better than the company he had. Therefore, at this point in time, he's working said job alongside Millie, who's working 3 part-time jobs, trying to pay off her loans as quick as possible. When it comes to myself, I've thankfully been doing very well with my company and getting a lot of business at this point. I'm busy almost every day. I also received a lot of money from both of the settlements, which I'll be using to expand my company even further.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.